Hi everyone, and welcome to our Health Collective event. We're really excited to be here tonight with you guys, sharing about how a group of us mums are running our online business. We're super passionate about health, but we also love having a balance where we can spend time with our children and focus on the things that are really important to us. My name's Erin. I've been involved with this business for just over 4 years, and I really started out just looking to make some improvements on my health. I've always been very passionate about health. I've always been very active. But after having children, I was really just struggling to get back to where I knew I wanted to be with my health. And I came across an amazing program. I met an amazing woman named Kira Westwick, who wrote the program that we all know and love. And I had amazing results with the program where I was able to really get my energy back. And that was one of the key things I was really lacking, especially being a mum of 2 at the time. And I fell in love with the program, the recipes, the positivity, everything about what we do. And because I had such great results, I knew that I could share this with so many other women that I knew and women that I was meeting in my day-to-day life. So yeah, it's definitely been something that's met with the things that I'm passionate about and that I love doing and sharing with other people. So we're going to share a little bit more now about some of the stories of the women in the business, share a bit more about what our business actually is, a little bit more about our program, and I'm going to hand over to Asunta now, who's going to kick us off for our event tonight. So thank you so much, Asunta. I'm just going to spotlight you, hon. Take it away.
Thanks, Erin. So hi guys, my name's Asunta. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our products and our program, but I'll start with telling you a little bit about myself. So I am a self-confessed whole food junkie and nutrition nerd. I pretty much read nutrition papers and documents and articles in my spare time. That's how much of a nutrition nerd I am. I love it. I'm so passionate about feeding my children a whole food diet and making sure that they're getting a full range of nutrients in their diet every single day. So that's what actually attracted me to our products and program. What I love so much is it's based on a holistic health model, and it is just real food, no deprivation. We've got amazing recipes, hundreds of recipes available in our program, and they're all just based on real whole food ingredients and family friendly, which is what I absolutely love. Even though my kids have been raised on a whole food diet, still sometimes it's so hard to get good food into them. They see other children in their park, they see people eating from packets, and they want that as well. So giving them tasty, healthy, nutrient-dense options is so important to me. And knowing that I'm still able to give them treats and things that they think is really special as well, but it's just loaded with nutrients. So that's what I really love about our program. There's so many recipes, they're so family friendly. But also with our program, we also have an amazing product. So we have a range of nutritional support products, and I'll just show you. They're all based on whole food ingredients. So we have our fruits, our berries, one of these packets for you, and I'll show you just what's in them. So we've got carrots, parsley, broccoli sprouts, spinach, beetroot, garlic, spirulina. These are superfood ingredients, and they are just food ingredients. There's not any synthetic vitamins in there. There's no nasty ingredients. So I don't know about you, but if you've ever walked into a chemist warehouse or a health food store and you just see the wall of supplements in front of you, it's confusing. They're full of synthetic vitamins. You don't know where to start, and you don't know what your body needs. What I love about this product is that they are real food. Our bodies recognize the ingredients because it's what we're supposed to have anyway. The next product that I'm going to talk about is our omegas. So these are a plant-based vegan thorn and things like pomegranate seed oil and raspberry seed oil. So these have the full spectrum of omegas in them. You've got your 3, 6, 9, 7, I think, as well. So they're full spectrum of DHA and EPA. Super important for your brain health, especially for children especially for pregnant or breastfeeding mamas. Really amazing for bone health and inflammation as well. We also have a kids range, which is our gummies here. I'm sorry if it's shaking around a little bit. My camera's a bit shaky. So these little gummies are absolutely delicious, but again, they're just made from natural ingredients. So everything that you would find in our fruits and our veggies here is in our children's gummies as well, but they're in a much more palatable version, and my kids love them. It's like the biggest treat for them every day when they get their little gummies. So then I'm going to talk about our whole food shakes. So these are our complete macronutrients in them. And so what that means is if you think of a plate of food, so your perfect plate of food, you have your healthy carbs, you have your healthy fats, you've also got your proteins and your micronutrients. And that is exactly what our complete shakes have. They have full macro and micronutrients. So these are amazing, added into smoothies. I actually like to bake with balls, ice blocks, all sorts of things. The amazing thing is that within our program, we have recipe books that actually teach you how to use these products in your cooking. So I'm super passionate about them. My children absolutely love them. And I'm going to pass on to a few of the other girls that will tell you their stories and their experience with the products and the program as well. So I think I'm passing on to Candice.
Yeah, thank you, Assunta. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, we definitely all love the program, and we all have different stories, I guess, to share, both about what the program's done for us and also the products. But I think that we all agree that, you know, everyone can benefit from eating more fruits and vegetables. We already are super healthy and super passionate about health. So if we're wanting to get extra goodness into our bodies, we know there's so many other mums out there who really want to nourish not only themselves but also their children, and to make it something that's easy, fun, with a program that really gives them so much value. We have a wholesome kids recipe book as part of the program. We also have different recipes for different occasions, such as, you know, Father's Day. We have Thermomix conversions. We have an 8-week challenge component for people who are looking for that extra, I guess, weight loss factor or to kickstart their health regime. And we have a gourmet cleanse where people can really focus on eating more fruits and vegetables. So overall, the program and the products are really about helping people improve their health, but in a way that's sustainable and, like Assunta said, very family friendly, so that it can be really a long-term thing, it's never supposed to be like a fad program or something that's just a quick fix. That's not what we're all about. So we are going to hear from a couple of the girls now. So I'd love to hear from Candice, and I'd love to know, Candice, really how you found out about the products, how long you've been taking the products and using the program, and what results you've had so far.
Hi guys. So for me personally, I have a bit of a history of I'll go back a bit. So a while ago, I used to do fitness competitions, and I was really heavily into that side of my life. I really enjoyed being able to control what I was eating. But in all honesty, if you cut a long story short, yes, visually I looked amazing, but I didn't feel amazing all the time because it's a really unsustainable diet, and I don't like the idea of being on a restrictive diet. It was very restricting. I constantly was watching what I was eating, and I didn't really enjoy that at all. Fast forward a little while, it certainly affected my body. It affected my cycle. And, you know, I believe that had a bit to do with my rejigging of my cycle so we could try to have a second baby. So fast forward a little while, I have now finally been able to have my second baby. He is 6 months old this week. And post-baby, I wanted to feel healthier again. I needed energy, and I just felt lackluster. And it wasn't because I just had a baby, which is obvious, like we all feel a bit lackluster when you just have a baby, but I felt really just crap. I couldn't function. I was really just spending all day, every day, really not achieving much at all. And I just wanted to be able to get a bit of energy to be able to then take that next step. So my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend, Tria, who will be speaking soon, she came and brought me a coffee randomly after my daughter was in hospital the night before, and in that discussion I was introduced to the idea of this program, and me being me, I'm an all or nothing type person, so I just jumped all in and thought, what have I got to lose? So I tried to pick holes in it, and I tried to genuinely find really, the catch online, like, some of us do, and I couldn't find it. If I went and looked on blogs, then sure, I found negative feedback. I'm sure you can Google negative feedback on anything, but there was nothing science-based that had negative feedback. And for me, everything that I read from a science perspective just made sense. So I jumped on board, and my husband then jumped on board, and my daughter's on board with the Healthy Starts program. Me personally, in terms of what I'm feeling, what am I not feeling? I've got energy back. Yes, I have sleepless nights, and getting up sometimes is often difficult, but once I'm up, and I'm awake. I'm far more mentally alert. I've got mental clarity. I can think clearly now, whereas before I was struggling with that. Mum post baby brain was really at a low. My body recovery has certainly improved. I went to the chiropractor today as a side note, and she even made a comment on the improvement in my body and how everything is recovering really well, and she's noticed a big difference in my body from a medical perspective. So I found that really interesting and really awesome to hear. My diet has dramatically changed, and I've certainly made really conscious choices to involve whole foods into our family diet now, and it's certainly opening up my daughter's mind to that as well. So my husband had really improved muscle recovery. He was playing football. He's at the end of his playing football, and it certainly helped his recovery 100%, and that wasn't a problem post the Juice Plus journey. So for us as a whole family, and not just me personally, I've seen improvements in every individual, but different improvements, so it's not all the same for everybody. My improvements have been, my back has been so much better. I haven't been in pain in my back, and I was in a lot of pain when I first had Jack. I have got my skin is so much clearer. My mental health and my gut health most definitely are a whole lot better. And it's the only change I've made is adding whole food capsules and cleaning up our diet and making sure we look after ourselves. So, in a very short time, 2.5 months for me, that's the dramatic impact it's had on our lives. And here I am wanting to start a business with this because I can't get enough of it. So, it's been a great additive for our family, and we're certainly benefiting from all of the changes that we've made. So I will. I'm not sure who we're passing it on to next, but we'll pass on next. Who's next, Erin?
That's okay. I'll jump in. So thank you so much, Candice, for sharing. I've not heard your story, and that's amazing. After only 2.5 months, you guys are already loving it so much. So thank you so much for sharing. So we're going to switch gears a little bit now, and we certainly all do love the products and the program, and we do have so much information and so many stories that we can share behind the scenes. We've got the amazing clinical research. So if there was anything that anyone watching this back, watching the recording, wanted to know more about the products, we'd certainly love to share more around that with you. So yeah, we are going to switch gears now and share a little bit more about the business side and how we're able to run this as a business from home around our children, and how it really ties in so nicely for us as mums. So I'm going to hand over to Whitney now, because she does have a small baby, and I'm hoping he won't wake up. Yeah. And at the story, Whitney, I've certainly followed your journey, and I definitely love your story. So if you'd be able to share that with us, that would be amazing.
Thanks, Erin. Yes, I've got a little 5-month-old at the moment, so currently on maternity leave. I'm in the Australian Army, so my day-to-day job wasn't a normal 9 to 5. I came into the business May last year, and it was because my husband and I were both on the product. So we were looking at $300 to $400 a month. And I thought if I could just make enough money to cover the cost of our products and break even at the end of the month, I was happy. And that was as simple as it was for me to say yes and to jump in. It wasn't until I started talking with more people, meeting new people that were in the business and what it was doing for them, being stay-at-home mums or cutting back to part-time work. So I really enjoy my job, and I didn't look at it as, okay, this is my out. I can now get out of the army because of this business. It was more very simple to start with. A couple of months into the business, I fell pregnant with our first. And straight away, that's when, you know, my mum mind started kicking in, and I thought, how hard is it going to be to go back to work once my paid maternity leave runs out, and not, like I said, not have that normal 9 to 5. I don't have that flexibility as I would in a different job. So that's when I kind of thought, okay, this can be a lot bigger than what I first thought. This can mean so much more for my family. Last year in November, on our baby moon, we went to Hawaii. That was the first holiday my husband and I have ever been on and haven't relied on a credit card. And it was because I was just putting this money away every month from the business and putting it aside. And that was a great feeling, coming back from a holiday and not having that debt over our heads. So once I had my little boy just before Easter, I really, again, it was like that light bulb moment again, was how far or how much further I could potentially take this business for me. I was putting all my money aside again into a savings account. My maternity paid leave is up next month, and I was supposed to be going back to work. I had all intentions of going back because we wouldn't be able to survive off one income. And by putting this money aside, I went into work a couple of weeks ago and told my boss, I'm not coming back this year. And to have that choice and that flexibility absolutely meant the absolute world to me. I was so happy speaking to other mums that have only had a few months maternity leave and have had to go back to work. It just made me so happy knowing I didn't have to be anxious or stressed about putting my 4-month-old into daycare 5 days a week. And that, I can't thank this business enough for that. So I love that I had that choice, and this business has given me that choice. And I now look at it as, yes, I will go back to work in January when my little one is a little bit older, but I'm now thinking long term with this business. And again, like I said, I really enjoy my job, but to be able to cut back part-time and be a stay-at-home mum for 3 or 4 days during the week as well would just, mean the absolute world to me, and not missing out on those milestones with my little one. I'm just so lucky and grateful that I came across this business. And I just think if you are second guessing or having, not sure whether you should jump into this business or not, I just say go all in. Just, you never know what it could mean for you and what it could mean for your family as well. So that's my story.
Oh, thank you, Whitney, so much for sharing. I'm so happy for you. And I guess, this business really is a journey, and we don't always know where it's going to take us. But I'm so happy that it's, currently meaning that you can spend some more time with your baby. And I certainly meet a lot of women who do start this business while they're on maternity leave, and then they start to think about going back to work, and they realize, they really just want to be there with their babies. So I'm glad that that the business has been able to help you with that for a little bit longer. So we are going to hand over to Brianna now, who's going to share her story. And Brianna is lucky enough to be on holidays again. So take it away, hon.
Thanks, Erin. Yes, I'm very lucky. I am from Melbourne, but I'm in Queensland at the moment. And I just got back a week ago from Bali, which was really cool. And it's pretty amazing because I've been out all day exploring. I'm here with my mum and my sister and my daughter. So I'm a mama to a 2.5-year-old. We're at the theme parks today, and here I can be with my phone or the laptop just in the hotel room working. So I consider myself really lucky because I always thought that was like the dream, but it was never really a possibility. So just to give you a bit of a backstory about me, as I said, I'm a mama, I'm a wife. I have actually been involved with the Juice Plus company for the last 1.5 years. So same as Whitney, I actually joined in May last year. And, in the beginning, I was like, this is way too good to be true. My background is I come from traditional business. And honestly, I mean, as much as I loved my job, I worked in marketing and fundraising. I've worked there for 15 years now. It's actually my husband's business, and that's how we met. So it was okay when I worked 60, 70-hour weeks because he was there and I got to see him. But you know what? Things change when you become a mum, exactly with what Whitney said. And my priorities completely changed. And while I'm still very goal-driven, my main priority is being a mama and being really present and enjoying this time, because I know it goes by way too quickly. So when I had Lola, I was on maternity leave, but I didn't get any maternity paid leave from my work. It was just, you know, the standard government pay, which is just enough to get you by, really. And I was actually back at work. I was doing work within 3 weeks after Lola was born. And that's not what I wanted to do. Like, I just desperately wanted to have a year off, and I wasn't able to. So when I came across this business, Lola was a year and a half old, and I was still trading time for money. It was very much like whatever hours I worked is what I got paid for. And there wasn't really any flexibility to do that around my daughter. I just wanted to be there and be present, and I didn't have that option. So when I came across this business model, it just made absolute sense to me. I could be laying down with Lola, putting her to sleep, and I could be working. I was going to be laying there anyway, just scrolling through social media, but now I actually get to make money with it. So it absolutely makes sense to me. Another reason why I love this is because I've been able to incorporate my passion for health and helping people with creating an income and supporting my family. So I mentioned to you just before, I was in Bali. I just got back a week ago. I was actually doing an iridology course there, and that really fits in so perfectly with what we do in Juice Plus, you know, around health and helping people. And I was actually able to work while being in Bali, and I got a paycheck still coming in. So where I see this going for me now is this year I'm actually finishing work with my husband's business, and I'm going to be doing this full time. And when I say full time, I mean going on holidays. I don't know where is next, but I'm sure there'll be somewhere beautiful. Going on holidays, being with my family, being with Lola, helping people, but doing this around my life and the way that I want to live, and not having to trade time for money. And I just think it's the most amazing thing, because I see people's lives changed constantly. It's the most supportive, uplifting, beautiful community. And honestly, I've never been part of anything like this before. In every other job that I've done, especially in the corporate world, it's like you're battling each other and tearing each other down to get the next promotion. With this, you know, we're supporting one another, because we only succeed ourselves when we help others. So I just think it's so beautiful, and I'm so excited about where this is going to take us. You know, I'd love the opportunity one day to retire my husband from his work, if he's willing to give it up, because I know that this has the opportunity to do that if we wish. So if you're sitting on the fence, you're thinking about if this is something for you, I would definitely get in contact with the person that shared this with you, because it's the most amazing opportunity that I'm so glad I'm part of now. But honestly, I wish I was part of it earlier. So thank you, Erin. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Oh, thanks, Brie. Well, we certainly love having you. And yeah, we do have a beautiful community, and we all love it so much. You guys can tell we're passionate. So I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. As I mentioned before, I actually started out as a customer and loved the product and the program so much that I started in the business. But also at the time, I was running a traditional business with my husband. So a little bit like Brianna, when I had my first 2 children, I never got maternity leave. Things really just carried on as normal. So I was still trying to juggle working, answering the phone, dealing with staff, and doing everything while having children, small children. So really it actually meant that I didn't really get to be like a very present mum. I didn't get to I'd try and go to, you know, mothers group picnics and catch ups and things, but I'd always get phone calls and things that would take me away from them. So yeah, I really lost a lot of that time as a mum because of my other business. My dog's just coming in. So when I found Juice Plus, and this business model, I could really see that this was something that I could create in my spare time around the children, tying in with something that I love. I love health. I love helping people. And I do also love business and building a business. So this really made sense to me. I certainly didn't have a lot of time on my hands. I was extremely busy, but it was, I was excited about this. So I really just started to build my business around the kids, probably, doing things like this at night when the kids were asleep, or, answering messages here and there through the day. And it took me about 15 months of doing my business like that to build a 6-figure income from this business. So for me, I knew that there was no other way I could have created an income like that in my spare time without getting an additional qualification or anything like that. And really it meant that I had this extra money coming in. I could never have done that any other way, as I said. And in the meantime, on that, during that journey, I had also had my 3rd baby. So I think I always like to say that I'm proof that anyone can do this, because like I say, I was super busy. I had all these kids. But this business has allowed me to create something amazing. Last year, both my husband and I were able to go on some trips by ourselves, some family trips, which we really didn't have the flexibility to do because we were always working. And for me, what I really love now is just sharing this with other mums and showing them that they can create something, around their children. It certainly isn't supposed to take away from our time with our children, that we can do both. We can be, business women. We can be running a business where we get to help other women, not only with their health, but also to bring in an extra income. And many of us, when we start this, kind of like what Whitney said, we're not really sure what this is going to be at the start. A lot of us say, I just want money to maybe pay for my hair appointments or to cover some bills or put into savings. But over time, it can turn into something where, even for me, earning, a 6-figure income, I probably never would have thought I would have created that in the beginning. So I think it's really powerful for us to be able to pass it on to other women, give them the gift of being able to spend more time with their children. The other thing I'd love to share about our business is that we love to help people cover the startup cost of their business in the first 10 days so that they're ahead right from the beginning. So there's basically, I would say, like no risk in this business. It's an amazing business model where we all work together, we all support each other, but we also get to choose how much time we put into this. So some people, they do have a lot on their plates. They don't have a lot of time, and that's perfectly fine. So there's no restriction around that. They get to really choose, what they want to put into this. So I really wanted to just finish off tonight by saying thank you to all of the ladies who shared on our event tonight. We do love what we do. We do love sharing about this, but we do know that, if you're watching this event, you're probably going to have a lot of questions, and we're really here to help you get all of your questions answered. We're here to support you on the journey. We really just love welcoming new people into our community. And even though we are an online business, we also love doing catch-ups and things in person. We're all around Australia. I think we've got Mel still on in the UK. And certainly get your questions answered. And thank you again, everyone, for jumping on and sharing tonight. And we will see you all soon. So thank you, everybody.